Time to play cards, time too to chat about the day's events. Their conversation for the last 2 weeks, outrage at the sometimes violent protests in Taksim Square. Throwing stones at others or throwing Molotov cocktails at cars or vandalizing homes, that's all wrong, he says. Mehmet Gular, a chef's assistant, and his friends are solidly behind Prime Minister Erdogan. Yasha Karuja has run this tea shop for the last 25 years. He says he's a card-carrying member of the ruling party. There are many different groups out there working to destabilize the Turkish economy, the government and Prime Minister Erdogan. The park is a huge mess, he says. He suspects foreign agents may be stirring up the protests and believes the protesters are getting paid to camp out. He offers no evidence for either claim. Most of his customers don't have any patience for the protests. Normal citizens would never throw Molotov cocktails, he says. Tayyip Erdogan was re-elected for a second term in 2007 with almost 50% of the vote. The scale of his support was on display when he returned to Turkey last week after a trip abroad. He's called on supporters to stage counter-demonstrations this weekend against the anti-government protests. In the middle-class area of Istanbul, where Mr. Erdogan grew up, neighbours describe his government as honest. They reject protesters' allegations that he wants to mix religion and politics. Under his rule, the economy has grown threefold. Many ordinary people, like storekeeper Semir Pacha, say they're feeling the benefits. Thank God the economy has gotten much better, and hopefully it will continue growing for the next 10 years, she says. Right now, though, most Turks may not be thinking about the economy over the next decade, but are more focused on politics and protests over the next few days. Carl Penhall, CNN, Istanbul.